All right, we are live. So I just thought, I know nobody's watching, so I'm just going to wait and see if anybody shows up. This is the first live stream I've done, I think, in 2 years. And I'm doing it from my car, which is cool. I'm doing it from my mobile hotspot on my phone since there is no internet anywhere else. I'm going to tweet out. We are live. Let's see. Surprise. So basically what I want to do today is just kind of take your guys' questions in the comment section. Please feel free to put any questions you have in the comment section. And yeah, let me know what's going on out there. Are there any people out there? First of all, I'm parked next to an abandoned Starbucks and in front of the abandoned theater. And there's still people in the stores, just people walking around with like their masks on, thinking that they're actually going to somehow save themselves from rampant disease with a little piece of plastic over their mouth. But you know how it goes. Get your questions answered. Okay. One second, people. Just gonna tweet out that we're live. Still working on that. I'm having to tweet one hand, I'm having to type one-handed right now because I'm having to hold my computer up with one hand. So I learned this new thing. I know I used to do live streams all the time. And then when I came back to do a live stream, I was going to do a live stream last week, actually. And then it didn't work out. So I had to come up with another solution to that. But basically what I found out is until YouTube has changed the rules so that you can't live stream from your phone anymore unless you have 1,000 subscribers or more. And because I kind of let my channel go for so long, I don't have 1,000 subscribers, and I never have had 1,000 subscribers. So now you guys can tune in, ask questions. Let's see. I'm actually starting to get some comments in. Lance Vogel says, or Fogel, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, and I apologize in advance, but he says, my local Starbucks have pretty much closed up or only open for abbreviated hours. This Starbucks here that I'm parked next to is completely shut down. They had their drive-through still going, and it was very, very long. And I remember because I actually ended up bailing out on the drive-through because I did not want to sit there with my car running like that. So the Starbucks, I don't know, is it a half a mile? I'm not sure the distance, but there's one other Starbucks in the area that is still open, and then there's a Starbucks in the Safeway that we have that is also still open because there's no sitting in either Starbucks. So, but this Starbucks, which is the one that used to have the good internet, is no longer open. So we have 4 people watching, which is more than I expected. So please feel free to submit your questions. I will answer them to the best of my ability. And as you can see, I'm a little grouchy today, partly because I did not have enough calories in my lunch, and then I had to go to the store and get something else to eat. So I have now eaten, and so I'm less grouchy than I was. But I even put on makeup so that I could do this. So you guys should be very, very grateful that I made the effort today. So I'm very excited. What city? I don't reveal what city I'm in anymore. I used to live in LA. I'm now about 6 hours north of LA, and that's as close to my location as you guys are going to get right now. Although I'm sure if you Googled, you could probably figure it out, but I don't need to make it easy for people. So So during this, let's see, what I've been doing during this downtime that everybody seems to be having is I've been trying to learn how to do Photoshop for the first time. I've tried to learn it, I don't know, for the past year. I've off and on tried to learn it through the kind of tutorials. Um, Photoshop kind of has tutorials that comes with it, but I have found and I've learned the hard way that Photoshop tutorials suck. So it's kind of it's just weird. It's weird that you can learn more from YouTube videos and YouTube tutorials than actual bona fide, okay, this is a Photoshop tutorial that came with Photoshop. The Photoshop tutorials that I've tried that came with Photoshop teach you all kinds of things that you really just don't seem to know or need to know, if that makes sense. Like, I've gone through pretty much all of them, and I still did not know how to use Photoshop correctly. I still could not do the tasks. So then I got so frustrated because I needed it desperately. I got so frustrated that I started going on YouTube and saying, how do I do this? How do I do this specific thing that I'm stuck with? How do I do that? And people might have seen I was tweeting about it as well. I was putting stuff out on Twitter and asking, how the heck do I do this? How the heck do I do that? And so I actually did learn how to do the specific things that I needed just through specific YouTube videos. But I found that there's actually a whole Photoshop class you can take for free on YouTube with like downloadable PDFs and documents and stuff and preset PDF files to help you learn how to build your own set of graphics on Photoshop, which is something I need. Like, I need desperately. I wouldn't say start from scratch beginner, but pretty much like as close as you can get without actually being start from scratch beginner on Photoshop. So that's what we're talking about right now. For anybody, I see we now have 5 people that have joined. For anybody who has questions, please put them in the comment section, because I did want to be able to interact with people, because gosh, you guys, I've interacted with 0 people except over text, and I'm going crazy. So now you guys can see me. You can see that I'm in my car. You can see that I'm parked outside an abandoned Starbucks and I'm going crazy, and people are texting me, and I'm just like, go away, go away. This is YouTube time. This is time for the YouTube people to ask their questions, get your questions answered. I'm going to try and be on until 2 p.m., which is about 7 minutes from now, 2 p.m. Pacific. So we'll see, because my computer is getting really, really hot sitting in the car like this. I will tough it out for you guys. This is what we're doing here. So basically what I was explaining before is what I've been doing during kind of this downtime that everybody's having due to the quarantine. There's only been 2 cases of coronavirus in my county, which irritates me to no end, that we've shut down the entire economy because there were 2 cases in this county. I mean, I guess I have a little bit more of an understanding of these things. Like, I understand New York has a big problem. LA probably has a big problem. San Francisco probably has a big problem. So the measures to be taken in the larger cities with larger communities make a lot more sense than smaller rural communities. I mean, I can't imagine people. For the longest time, we had 0 cases, and the only 2 cases we've had in this county are because people came from out of town to come here. Nobody in this county actually contracted it. So it's really frustrating to me that everything's been shut down and nobody knows what to make of everything. I know I've been very much a doomsday soothsayer on Twitter lately, and I know people get frustrated with me. That's my perspective on politics is very, very negative these days. I fully expect, I have 100% expectations that people both on the left and the right are going to use this manufactured crisis, or whether I shouldn't say, I get uncomfortable saying manufactured crisis, because that makes it seem like disease isn't a problem. Disease is, of course, a problem. So there is a problem. But now the problem has been exacerbated. It's been exacerbated by economic shutdowns, people losing their jobs, people losing their insurance. And so you guys will probably survive coronavirus because we've done everything we can to prevent coronavirus, but you might die because you lost your job, you lost your health insurance, and you stopped going to the doctor, and then you overlook the fact, oh, I had cancer that I didn't have checked, or something like that. And I guess that's my frustration. We're so focused on this one thing that in the grand scheme of things is very, very small when you compare it to all of human history. It's very, very small. And when you compare it to disease that has happened even in the last decade, when you look at the swine flu, H1N1, you look at all these other diseases that were serious, but I mean, the swine flu was more serious than the coronavirus. My mom had the swine flu and she survived. The swine flu sucked. It wasn't fun, but most people are going to live through the coronavirus. I know people don't want to hear me say that, but Gavin Newsom doesn't want me to say that. Anyway, so moving on to the comments. Lance Vogel says, and please yell at me again in the comments if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Here in the Chicago area, it's starting to spread out, or it's starting to spread, but the governor didn't help, or the government didn't help by saying he didn't know when the stay-at-home orders would end. That's my biggest problem here, because my governor, Gavin Newsom, you guys have heard me talk about him so many times, and I'm going to talk about him again. He is very, very power hungry. He loves power. He loves government power. He loves using it. He loves wielding it. He loves the big government. Government comes in and saves everybody. Big daddy government's going to come in and save you. And so it really, really frustrates me to no end that the person driving past me got really, really close to my car, and I don't like that. But it frustrates me to no end that we're just handing him power that he's never going to give back, or he's only going to give back partially. And then what's to stop the next crisis and the next disease, or now, we need to combat climate change by shutting everything down. We need to combat the next disease by shutting everything down. We can't make this a habit, but it's now become a habit. It's become the norm. Now, okay, we need to shut everything down. We need to shut everything down so that we don't have, a similar crisis. Now this is just going to be the norm. So sure, the economy might bounce back in June or in July or in August or whenever. But then there's another disease in October, right before the election, conveniently. There's another disease, and we decide to shut down the economy again. Why? Okay. The Italian hands are going. Jonathan Holman says, have you watched Star Trek Picard? If so, what is your opinion? Should I waste my time? I have not wasted my time on Star Trek Picard. I would highly recommend you guys go to That Star Wars Girl. She has a great YouTube channel. She breaks down, she became famous because of an anti-Last Jedi review video that she did. And she does both Star Wars and Star Trek reviews. She's like a graphic designer or something. But she has basically made it her mission in life to go through the Star Trek Picard episodes and review them, and everything that she has said about them just makes it's so unappealing to me. I take her opinions pretty seriously on these things. She's very knowledgeable about insider stuff, like what's going on at Disney, what's going on with the people behind Star Trek. I can't remember. I know Paramount owns Star Trek, and I know CBS is the one putting out the show, but I'm not sure what overlords are controlling the story and everything. But she's very knowledgeable about those things, and she's given every episode a negative, and she breaks down every little plot point in her videos. So go and check out That Star Wars Girl on YouTube, and you can find out whether you want to take her seriously. I having heard her videos, decided I'm not going to be watching Star Trek Picard, at least not. I mean, now that we have all this time to watch videos and stream, maybe, but probably not. I am going to be watching The Mandalorian season 1 because I found out that they're going to be bringing Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian season 2. And so now I'm like, okay, well, I like that character and I'm really interested to see her in a live action scenario. So I guess now I have to watch The Mandalorian. So I will be going back to watch The Mandalorian. Let's see. A couple more comments. Joseph Burkle says, War Nuke here and hello. Okay, so now I know what your name is. I know who War Nuke is from Twitter. Folk says, I'd have to see it myself. I assume that that's referring to Star Trek Picard. Not sure what that comment is in reference to. So let us continue on. Let me see what we got going on over on Twitter. I'm just going to give a quick little retweet. Let's see. Nothing going on over on Twitter. Let's see. I have a question for you guys, and you can answer in the comments. What do you guys think? I see a lot of channels nowadays, they'll do live streams, and then they'll make the live streams either unlisted or private. I haven't decided if I want to do that yet, because I used to do exclusive live streams. My entire channel, for the old timers that used to watch this channel, was all live streams. Everything I did was live. So the Ben Shapiro interview that I did in 2017, I think, I did that with him and with 5 other guests, I think, or 4 other guests. We did that entirely live, 100% live. The one I did an interview with Ali Stuckey, 100% live, as you guys can see, because Cassie Dillon's fire alarm went off in the background very famously. That episode is my #1 most viewed episode of that show, Renegade Millennials. That was a good show. But I don't know. Do you guys want to go back and rewatch this, or should I just make this a special thing just for the people who happen to be able to watch? I think I might leave it live unless I say something like incredibly stupid, which generally I'm pretty good about not saying incredibly stupid things live. Since I've had a lot of experience being live and working in the production industry and all of that. Let's see. People are talking. Okay, that comment was in reference to Picard, I think. And The Mandalorian. And Joseph says The Mandalorian, or I guess it's War Nuke. I'm not sure how. I'm probably going to end up just calling you Joseph on YouTube, but Mandalorian is very good. I've been hearing lots of negatives about the season 1 of Mandalorian, and the little I've seen of it looks really boring. But I will watch it because I have to see Ahsoka Tano as a live action, it's funny how I disliked that character so much when I first saw her, when she was like the 14-year-old version, and then when they aged her up, she became so much more interesting. And then of course she left the Jedi Order, which was like stunning, big shocker. And now they're bringing her back in the Clone Wars season 7, which is really exciting. And I'm not, like the Clone Wars, I was really excited about it originally, and I don't think they've done wrong with it. I just don't think they've really taken it up a notch, which is what I was hoping for. They've just kind of coasted and played it safe. So let's see. Oh, somebody else actually watched my Ali Stuckey interview and they liked it, so I'm very pleased about that. Thanks, Terry. Let's see. Big fan. Big critic of the new Star Wars and Mando. Does Star Wars? Okay, so I'm hearing mixed reviews, basically. Some people really like The Mandalorian. Some people really disliked it. The thing I don't like is Baby Yoda. That's like the least appealing thing to me on this planet. I don't like characters that are just dropped in plot. To like make me like feel like the warm fuzzies, and that's all. Like, they're purposeless. And so if Baby Yoda has a purpose and fulfills that purpose well, then I guess I'll be okay with it. But if Baby Yoda is just, you need to feel good, but oh my gosh, it's so cute and we're gonna sell toys, and I'm like, I don't need that. Yeah, so keep filling up the comments section. People are, let's see. I'm actually surprised that you guys have been so interactive, and I'm surprised that you guys have enjoyed it. What did people think of my episode with Kobe? I just recently did an episode with, his name is Slickmoff on YouTube, and I actually had him clarify how to pronounce it in my episode. But my most recent episode of my show is with this YouTuber called Slickmoff, and he's really, really young, but he has like 67,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it's really fantastic. So let me know what you guys thought of that interview with Kobe. I'd like to have him back. He's a very interesting guy. And then if there's anybody that you guys wanted to see coming up on new episodes of my podcast, let me know both in the comments and on Twitter and everywhere else. One other thing I wanted to announce on this live stream, so you guys are hearing about this first. I have a new video coming out on Saturday, which is one of the reasons why I'm actually down here so that I can upload it. I'm doing a new series of review videos. The plan is that they go out every Saturday. We'll see if I can keep that up. But they're better quality than my podcast, which is generally just me stream of conscious talking, or having a guest stream of conscious talking. I do very little editing on those videos because I just like I have them much more raw, is what I'm trying to say. So that's not to diss my own podcast. That's just to say you guys get really raw content with my podcast. With these review videos, I'm really trying to up the editing and like the extra stuff that I'm adding in. I'm still very I'm very novice, or I should say beginner level, when it comes to my editing and all of that. So bear with me. I'm still working through some stuff. But new video out on Saturday that is not related to my podcast. So let me know what you guys think of that. And if you'd like to see more of those, again, I'm hoping to do those every Saturday. But we'll see, what my schedule permits at this point. So again, please continue commenting. I'm going to extend this a little bit longer, but my computer is really, really suffering from the heat right now. So I'm going to have to start wrapping things up. Let's see. What do you guys think? So I'm actually doing an interview tomorrow with, oh gosh, the guy's name is Ian. What's his name on Twitter? Ian Hayworth. He has his own podcast. So he's recording for my podcast tomorrow, and then I'm going to be recording for his podcast next week, I think is the plan. And so let me know if you guys are excited about that, interested in that. What do you guys think of Ian? Is he cool? Well, I'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, so I've got an interview with him. I'm hoping I would like to know what you guys think of my interviews with Donovan Fowler, because he's one of my very close friends, and I would like to have him on more often, but I don't get a lot of feedback from his episodes. So I wanted to know, do you guys like his episodes? I know they're a little bit longer than I usually do. Donovan's a talker. Everybody loves Donovan, but I would like to know from fans if you guys like him as a guest. What do you guys think of Jacob as a guest? Do you want to see more of Jacob? Do you want to see? I know I've done episodes with my sister, so if you guys want to see more of those episodes, let me know. Let's see. Review video. Any hint on the subject? I'm reviewing my new iPhone 11. That is the subject. And I am very glad you asked that question. This is why you guys need to interact in the comments, because you wouldn't have found out about that if you hadn't have asked about it. So do ask questions, and these shall receive. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. Last question from Pastor G from Twitter. Just came in. How are you doing through this? I'm as irritable as ever. I'm as irritable as freaking ever. I hate everything about this whole quarantine. It reeks of government overreach, unnecessary measures taken across areas that are very, very unlikely to experience serious health concerns, especially my area, which is very rural. Like, again, the 2 cases that actually came to my county came from outside, from people who ought not to have been traveling here. So this idea that shutting down economies, forcing people not to be able to work, it's not a good idea. It's a bad idea, you guys. I hope that I've made myself clear on Twitter by saying that. So I do need to wrap this up, because again, it's very hot in this car, and this is the only place I have to live stream right now. But I do appreciate everybody who has tuned in. I actually, we had, I think, peak viewership was 6 viewers at one time. So that's pretty exciting to me. So thank you guys for coming on. I'm going to try and do these more often. I can't guarantee I can do them every week, but I really love live streaming. I love the stream of conscious kind of talk, and I will talk to you guys. Don't forget about the Saturday episode, so you guys will check that episode out on Saturday. And next week I will have a new episode out. Hopefully that interview with Ian will be next week's You Got It episode. So I will talk to you guys later, and stay safe. Don't get sick, and don't worry about wearing the mask. It's not that big of a deal. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be fine, guys. Okay, goodbye.